walked into a beauty store filled with anticipation, only to walk out feeling disheartened and disregarded. Now, in this eye-opening video, we take a look into the unspoken narratives of individuals who've encountered discrimination and mistreatment at Korean-owned beauty stores. But this isn't just about sharing grievances. It's about shedding light on experiences that demand our attention and understanding. Now, I urge you to watch this entire video, for it's not just a recounting of isolated incidents. It's a mosaic of stories that paint a vivid picture of systemic issues within certain beauty establishments. And to those who complain about me sharing bite-sized content, I've brought you the entire narrative so that you understand the full story. Now, from a talented black woman whose viral success turned sour amidst workplace competition to another recounting her unsettling encounter at a recommended beauty store, each tale grips you with its raw authenticity. Now, these are not just anecdotes. They are testimonies to the importance of empathy, inclusivity, and respect in every facet of our society. With that said, check out these videos as these beautiful ladies share their own stories, as my fellow black people react to the videos by saying that they're going to boycott Eben for doing this to one of our own. Check out these videos. I'll be right back.
Story time of me working for Eben, New York as the only black person in corporate. Honestly, y'all, it took a lot out of me to even make this video. It's been 3 months since I left the job. They actually fired me. Wrongful termination, but we'll get to that. It has just been a very long journey. Eben, New York is a very popular beauty brand. They are very known for their 24-hour edge controls. I'll put it right here. And they're also very known for their wig sprays. So hairstylists, listen up, because a lot of you, even if you're not a hairstylist, if you're a black woman, black people in general, listen up, because I was treated so horribly, guys. Like, I would go to the bathroom every day at work and cry. It was to the point where I just couldn't take it anymore. That's how bad it was. So I initially seen a job posting on LinkedIn for being their content creator, basically like the face of the brand. Just do like a quick couple of videos for them. So the HR lady, the company's very small. If that, like, the company is like 80 people or whatever. So there was only one HR person at the time. And this lady, she reached out to me on LinkedIn and she was like, oh, can you come in for an interview? Like, we would love to talk to you. So I'm like, yeah, sure. So I go in there and she's just like telling me all about the brand. And I realized that she kept saying like, oh, we're trying to make it more diverse in the office. We're trying to make it, she just kept saying that. We're just trying to make it more diverse in the office. So I'm just looking around and I'm like, well, there are a lot of Korean people. How are you guys doing this? Like, what do you mean? There's no black people at all? So she's showing me like, oh, they have like in-house beauty hairstylers, nail techs, lash techs, whatever, and they test out the products. They're not on a corporate side though. I didn't know this. I'm just thinking like, oh, okay, so I see some black women in the office, you know, cool. So I'm looking around, it's just nothing but Korean people. That still didn't bother me because I still seen like some black women in the office. So I'm like, cool, it doesn't matter. So she seen my resume and she was like, how do you feel about actually working full-time as a marketer, social media marketer? And I'm just like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I could come into the office every day and, you know, do marketing. That's what I went to school for, communications and marketing. So I took on a job. And the first day that I went to work, they was just basically showing me how to do stuff, what websites they use and things like that. So I'm already ready to make my first video, post it on TikTok, Instagram, whatever. Wow. I edited this video and I posted it right before I left. And I noticed that it was going viral within 3 hours. Like, as soon as I posted it, it was going up. So I'm like, I'm getting excited because I'm like, oh, this is my first day and I'm already, you know, showing off, like doing my job. And I was looking at it all night. That's how excited I was. I kept scrolling, going on their page and looking at the video, like I'm doing my big one. It was around 8 p.m. that I realized that the video was deleted. So I'm like, what's going on? I was reading the comments the whole time, y'all. Everyone was laughing at the video. They were saying whoever's on the marketing team needs a raise. They were saying all these positive things, right? So I go into work the next morning, and as I'm walking to my desk, I have to pass my supervisor's desk and I have to pass another coworker that thought she was my supervisor. Let's get into that. We could get into that, but I'm gonna just keep going. So I'm going to my desk and I see that my coworker is showing my supervisor the video that I posted on TikTok from the account or whatever. So I'm like, they're just like literally looking at it or whatever, like reading the comments. And I'm like, hey, good morning. Yeah, why did the video delete? And all I know is that they looked at me and they were just like, there was too many negative comments. So then I go on the account and I, look at the comments. I'm like, there's no negative comments. Someone was saying like, oh, the person that posted it, like the marketing team, the company better be black owned or something like that, because the video was funny. It was about SZA, I think it was. Like, it was about a black person doing a wig. It was some creative thing that I did. It was just all jokes, and it was good for marketing. So I was like, there's no negative comments here. And I felt some type of way, because I'm like, it was my first day. I made a video go viral. Y'all needed help going viral and keep marketing these products and stuff, and I'm over here doing it on the first day, and y'all trying to figure out one little thing. Y'all see one little comment that says something a little negative to y'all, and y'all want to delete it. That's not how this works. Like, yeah, we got to get some tough skin around here if y'all want to keep going up in this company. So I let that slide. But ever since that day, I realized like everyone was just in competition with me. I don't know if that makes sense, but it was just like they were no longer trying to teach me anything. They were no longer First of all, I realized, let me just backtrack. Ever since that day, they had started speaking Korean the whole time in the office, in the marketing room. Korean. I had no conversation with them. They would speak to me whenever they told me to just do something. They would have meetings in full-blown Korean. Even the CEO would come in and speak in Korean. And nobody thought to even, like, look and be like, oh, let's just speak in English for now. We do have a black lady here that's just not Korean, and she doesn't know anything that we're saying. So I just started feeling uncomfortable. I'm like, there's no way that everybody was speaking English in the beginning, the first day that I was there, being very nice. And now all of a sudden, everyone's just speaking Korean the whole time, giggling, looking at me, laughing about things. And I have no idea what any of them are saying.
I will never be purchasing from a Korean-owned beauty supply store ever again. It's not happening for me, and I know a lot of black girls are already saying this. Like, I just can't keep doing this for my own mental health. Like, I need to find black-owned, like, beauty supply stores, because what happened to me today in Hawthorne, like, I don't even want to say that I've never experienced anything like this, because I have in these types of stores, but to this severity, it was just, like, it literally threw me off. Like, I was shook. So, essentially, I live 40 minutes away from Hawthorne. I have been looking for a glueless wig for a while, but I just want to feel it. Like, I don't want to just buy it online, but at this point it's looking that I might have to. So I go to this store because it's been recommended by literally everyone that I know, and they're like, oh, they have so many things, and I'm just like, okay, cool. Like, I want to go see what variety they have, because where I live in Orange County, there's not really a good variety. So drive to Hawthorne, 40 minutes. Once I get there, I go by myself into the store. The attendant that like helped me out in the beginning, the person that greeted me, I think they were Latino, and he was just absolutely like so great, so nice. I was like, oh, do you guys have like glueless wigs? And he was like, oh, we might have some in the back. So like I go to the back area, and he's like, if you have any questions, somebody should be over there to help you out. I was like, cool. So I head there, but I'm noticing that there's a Korean guy following me around. At this point, there were two other black women that were in the store, but I think they had already checked out, so it was just me in the store with 3 or 4 other workers, and then this Korean dude and like a Korean woman. And I'm presuming that this man was the owner of the store, because he kept asking people if they had taken their breaks. So he's following me around as I'm looking around at the units, and I know exactly what I'm looking for. I know exactly what I want. I just needed to see it in person. And so I'm looking around. He's still following me for like a solid 10 minutes. He comes up to me and he's like, do you know what you're looking for? And I was like, yeah, I'm just looking for like a glueless wig. Do you guys have any? I'm not really seeing one. And he was just like, what do you mean? He's like, one that you just put on your head? And I was like, yeah, but like it's, glueless. You don't really see the lace, da 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 da. And I'm trying to explain to him, and he just like was super short with me. And he was just like, okay. He's like, human, synthetic? And I was just like, human, I want, you know, I want to spend like money, you know, human. And so he just like ignores me. So I'm just like, whatever. But as I'm weaving through the aisles, mind you, this is a big ass store. Like, it has everything in it. So it has a lot of things that I hadn't seen before. So I'm looking through the aisles and he just keeps following me around. And it's not like the type of following you around where they're like, oh, do you need any help? Like, no, it was like uncomfortable. You know what I'm talking about. Like, you've been in these types of stores and you know the uncomfortability where you think that person thinks you're stealing, essentially. So he then proceeds to like just keep being weird, so that I just ask him to just like make it look like I'm not stealing, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, do you have like any curly hair bundles, like curly bundles or anything like that, or curly extensions? And he was like, human or synthetic? And I was like, human. And he was like, are you actually gonna buy? Are you actually gonna buy? Because it doesn't look like you're gonna buy, you're just looking. And I was like, excuse, like I literally was like, excuse me? Like I was like, excuse me? Like I know for a fucking fact it was not me having a language barrier. It was not me misunderstanding the situation, because when I said excuse me, he said the same thing to me and he doubled down. He doubled down. So like, I know I'm not tripping. Like, I know I'm not being crazy and looking at the situation and being, oh, girl who cried racist. Like, it's really not. Like, I was so shook by the exchange, and I was like, I'm in your store. Of course I'm trying to buy something. Like, what? Like, I don't even want to yell. I apologize for yelling. But I literally had to leave. Like, I had to leave because I just felt so uncomfortable. And I was just like, no way. Like, mind you, it's so funny because I have been watching documentaries on the LA riots over the past like 2 weeks. And for this exchange to happen, if you know anything about the LA riots, you would know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, it just really threw me off. Like, I was just like, really? Like, I am your demographic, fucker. Like, I am the person that is purchasing from you, and you're gonna treat me like this? Like, it baffles me that there are store owners that are like this, that take advantage of the black community and black consumers, knowing that we are major consumers in this space, and they take advantage of us and they treat us like shit because they know that they're the only place that we can go to purchase products that are necessary for our own hair. And they continue to treat us like shit, and I just don't even really know what to do other than to say, like, we might have to go back to the 90s where we start boycotting these types of businesses, because I truly refuse to be purchasing from any more Korean-owned like beauty supply stores. Like, I can't do it. Like, I don't, maybe y'all have the people that you trust or whatever, or the stores that you go to and you like, but there have been so many instances, like, all the stores nearby me do the exact same shit. All the stores that I've gone to do the exact same shit, and there's literally nothing that I can do at this point that would make me feel comfortable and safe in those environments, because I have never felt safe or comfortable or wanted within these environments. You don't even want my money, so like, what do you want me to do? You think you're gonna treat me like shit and then me be like, yeah, I need this product, so I'm gonna buy it from you? Motherfucker, the internet is here, babe. Like, you are not the only resource that we have anymore, and I think these stores need to recognize that now. And so that's just where I'm at. I will not, like I said, I will not be purchasing from these stores anymore. If you know of a good glueless wig, please send it my way, bitch. Like, I'm so mad. Like, I literally wanted to cry. Like, he made me feel like so fucking small, but like, fuck you. Like, you're not gonna be treating people like that.
Count your days. Eben, whatever. Count your days. I don't know if y'all saw that beautiful woman on y'all For You page that says she worked for Eben, but she got wrongfully terminated because she was working with a whole bunch of Korean employees as well, right? And they would literally talk Korean in front of her face. But from the first time that they met, they all spoke English. I'm just listening to the whole thing. I'm just like, yeah, you're done. I'm about to put her ad right here. Go watch her video. This company right here is done. We're boycotting because they're out here making a joke out of us, and we can't let that happen. They laughed in front of her face, speaking in Korean. So any black companies out there, go ahead and comment down below your best hairspray, your best edge control, all of that, because we are done with this company, period.
Look here, to that man that's getting upset because we boycotting Eben. It's happening. We ain't buying it no more. It's over. It's done. We got to stick together. I'm sorry. We got to stick together. They shouldn't have been discriminating. They shouldn't have been being mean. We the ones that buy it. We the ones that use it. We the ones that tell everybody about it. And then everybody be using it. And you want to be mean to somebody that look like us? That's okay. We just not going to buy it. So we sorry, Mr. Antonio. You put your money into that company. You shouldn't have did it. Oh, well, that's your fault. They don't have anything to do with us. Even we're not buying it. Sorry. It's over.
I heard we boycotting Eben. I hope y'all just know after this boycott, y'all cannot keep using that product. Because if y'all know anything about corporate Korean, is that them motherfuckers are petty. When I mean petty, they are petty. Downright petty and do not care. They will literally do some foul shit in your face, smile at you, say they did it and not care. Even if it's illegal. You will never get an apology out of them. I bet you not. You'll probably get the most fakest one, but I promise you, you're not gonna get an apology. This whole blocking the comments, this whole not responding, don't you use that product, because I swear to God, they're gonna come back. Probably, maybe they are gonna do a little apology, but that formula will never be the same. They are going to sacrifice their company, name it something else, let y'all use this product and put something that's gonna make our hair fall out. I would not put it past them. If you literally dabble into Korean corporate and Korean drama and Korean true crime, you will definitely agree with what I'm saying. So don't throw your Eben away. Keep it. Just don't buy no more. Don't buy it. I was gonna be on that little baby powder commercial talking about we all got cancer.
I think at this point, going all the way down with Eben, something has to give. Because it's like from beauty supply stores, stores in our community, laundromats, all of these things are owned by these people. Why? You don't go to the Jewish community and see a Caribbean restaurant in there. No. You don't go into the Asian community and see a whole bunch of soul food restaurants. No. We need to stop buying these type of food. Put them out of business. Start opening up our own corner stores, own laundromats, own beauty supply stores. Now we really getting into it.
Honestly, so glad we're talking about this again, because I never got to share my story up until now, and I'm so glad I finally came. But this happened last summer when I was on a date with my boyfriend, and we were in a plaza, and at that plaza there's a buffet called Hot and Cold. So after we're done eating, we have time to still spare. We're waiting on his grandma to come pick us up in 2 hours. So for these 2 hours, we're just gonna go looking in and out of the stores and stuff. And since time is passing by fast, our last store is the beauty supply store that's near the Hot and Cold over there. And so we're walking in, nothing happens until we walk to the back and stuff, and we see a big mirror. And me and my boyfriend are like, okay, let's snap some pictures and stuff so we can post on Instagram. And so we're taking pictures and stuff. And once we're finally done, as soon as we're done taking pictures, we're about to we put the phone down and we're about to go walk back to the front. This Asian lady peeps her head over right here. She peeped her head over to come look at us. And she's just when I look at her, she makes a shocked face. But what are you shocked for? The situation itself was very weird and creepy. She didn't even say any words to us, nor did the other Asian lady that was over there. But the main one was looking stuff. She kind of just gave us a look. And we were at the front. She gave us a look and stuff. And she kind of was just looking to see what we were doing again. And so we just hurried and left. I will say though that if a beauty supply store called Beauty Empire is your local one, if you're a black woman, black girl, take precautions if you're going to go in there.
This is one of those moments when you have to realize how powerful the black dollar is. Did you know it takes 6 hours for black dollars to circulate out of black hands? So a lot of other races, not racists, but races, they make products and market them to black people, to us, because they know that we use and need these things, and they can beat us to the punch, and we're not going to have the companies ourselves because of the system that we come in, which that's a whole other situation. But if you're black, you know what I'm talking about. So we need to boycott this company, Eben, New York. The audacity, the racism, just the total and utter disregard for this not only beautiful but extremely talented woman working in this corporate office for Eben, New York. The total disregard for her safety, for her well-being, for her excellence in her role. Why did you even hire her? To put her in, what? And on top of the fact that I think a lot of companies also hire marketers or people that are just really good at marketing, especially social media, especially TikTok, and they don't understand that there are certain jokes that are funny to this generation. Like, we put faces on bottles and like do all kinds of crazy, you know, quirky little things, because it's just a new type of humor, and a lot of them don't get it. And those are the videos that do the best. That's why Ryanair and Duolingo and what all companies that kind of take that approach do so well on social media platforms such as TikTok. She was doing a remarkable job. I'm sickened. I'm flabbergasted. I'm appalled. You need to go watch her video. Watch the series. It's only 4 videos as of right now. Share it, comment on it, support her, because we are absolutely going to war for this one. Because no, absolutely not.
The Chinese owner of this market does not allow black people to enter.
What kills me the most about this even New York situation is that black people can give these companies their money. We can make these people be able to eat at night. We can make their...
I really want to tell anyone that doesn't understand why those Asian businesses that kind of caters towards black people, why they are so rude and racist, knowing full well that their whole economy, their whole revenue depends on black people. Let me tell you why. Because it's disgraceful to do what they are doing. If you are racist, if you think you are superior to someone based on your skin color or based on your work ethic or based on whatever you have that you think is better than someone else, the last thing you want to do is create anything to help those people out. You don't want to do that. So can you imagine the kind of thought process they have to go through to feel like they need to make those businesses for you or for us, and basically having to admit to themselves that the only way they can survive in this country is by providing hair care to the people they hate. Like, there is no ego boost in this. There is no way they feel better about themselves whenever they have those assemblies, with other business owners, or whenever they go back in Asia. They cannot really brag about making hair products for like black people. I'm sure they hate it, and I'm sure they tried to own other businesses or other things, and I'm sure everything they tried failed miserably. So the only thing that works for them is basically their punishment, having to deal with black people all the time. I feel like we shouldn't even say anything about this issue because they're already being punished. If you are racist, having to deal with the people that you hate, having to see them all the time, that must be hell. Now that we know, we can just focus a little bit more on black-owned businesses. Well, we also have issues on that side, but it's much better than whatever's going on over here, for sure.
You're shocked? Don't be shocked. You're shocked? Everything that's coming to light about this company is so funny. If you do not know, we are boycotting Eben, New York. Cannot make y'all do anything, but I heavily advise you to stop buying from this company. I'm not shocked because a lot of stuff that is marketed to us and is presented like it is for us is not really for us, if you know what I mean. A lot of these companies just like to profit off us and our culture and are not really for us. Clearly, we see that Eben is doing that. I want to speak on a situation that was a little bit closer to home. As you guys know, I am a wig influencer. A lot of you may know this, but some of y'all don't. But all of these companies that wig influencers work with are mainly directly in communication with Asians, most of them being Chinese. There's a lot of anti-blackness rooted in these spaces that are meant for black women or for black people, period. So I was working with this wig company, really big wig company, so I'm not gonna name drop, but if I did, y'all would be gagged. They sent me a wig. It was like an auburn colored curly wig. I think the texture was like kinky curly. So I did what I normally do. I installed the wig, and something that I normally do when I show curly wigs, show the wig wet and I show the wig dry. You can really decide if that's the curl pattern you want to go with. So I make the video, right, and the company is like, hey dear, you know they let us say that shit. They're like, hey, we don't want you to show the dry look of the hair at all. It looks very like unappealing. It looks very nappy. What? what did you say? And I responded something like, what? Like, what do you mean? Use the word nappy and the word unappealing in the same sentence, relating to each other. And it was just crazy to me how in the video they wanted me to say like, oh, this texture feels very natural, reminds me of my natural hair. Wanted to say all this stuff, wanted to do all these things catering to black women, like, oh, it looks very natural. This reminds me of our hair. Wig was gorgeous, dry or wet. It was gorgeous. And for them to say that they only want to show the wig wet because the wig dry was unappealing and nappy was a little crazy. I never posted that video and I have never worked with that company again since. Crazy because it's such a big wig company. Such a big wig company and they pay really good, but baby, not all money is good money. And even though I could have easily took the money and continued to work with them, some stuff is just too much, like the fucking audacity. So yeah, I haven't worked with that wig company from then and I will never be working for them again. Thank you. But I say all of that to say, just because something's marketed towards black consumers or black women does not mean that the background of the company and that the employees and that the corporate office and all those things are really for us. I only have a little bit of this left anyway, so this will be going in the trash and I will not be repurchasing. I really encourage other black creators in the beauty world to speak up on this issue because Eben is not the only one. The wig company that I work with is not the only one. Black people in general are huge consumers, so it's important that you understand who you're buying from, what you're buying, and how they treat people who look like you. Stay beautiful and stay black.
Now, the stories shared in this video sheds light on a disturbing reality faced by many black individuals in the workplace and within beauty stores. It is a stark reminder of how systemic racism permits even seemingly progressive environments where individuals are judged not by their merits but by the color of their skin. Now, the case of the talented black woman who experienced backlash for her successful marketing efforts, it's particularly outrageous. Despite her commendable skills and efforts that brought positive attention to the company, she found herself targeted and ultimately fired due to perceived competition from her Korean colleagues. Now, this highlights a troubling trend where black individuals are viewed as threats simply for excelling in their roles and posing a challenge to the status quo. The experiences recounted in beauty stores reflect the pervasive racism faced by black customers on a daily basis. Now, being followed and scrutinized as potential thieves solely based on race is not only dehumanizing, but also emblematic of the deeply ingrained biases that plague our society. It is a painful reminder that black individuals are often denied the same level of trust and respect afforded to others and perpetuating a cycle of discrimination and marginalization. Now, these narratives serve as a call to action for systemic change within both corporate environments and retail spaces. It's imperative that companies address issues of racism and discrimination head-on, implementing policies and practices that promote inclusivity and equity. Likewise, beauty stores must confront their own biases and actively work to create welcoming and respectful environments for all customers, regardless of race. These stories compel us to confront the uncomfortable truths of racism and prejudice that continue to pervade our society. The case of the black woman who excelled in her marketing role but faced repercussions due to perceived competition unveils broader issues of workplace discrimination and racial bias. It's not uncommon for black employees to find themselves in environments where their success is viewed as a threat rather than an asset. Now, this phenomenon, often referred to as tokenism, occurs when individuals from underrepresented groups are hired to fulfill diversity quotas but face hostility when they excel beyond expectations. In the context of the beauty industry, which has historically perpetuated Eurocentric standards of beauty, racism manifests in various forms. Black customers are frequently subjected to microaggressions, such as being followed or questioned about their intentions, solely based on racial stereotypes. Now, this not only erodes trust, but also reinforces harmful narratives that equate blackness with criminality. Moreover, the lack of diversity in leadership positions within beauty companies contributes to the perpetuation of discriminatory practices. Without representation at decision-making levels, issues of racism and bias often go unaddressed, further marginalizing black employees and customers alike. Now, to combat these entrenched issues, companies must prioritize diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives that go beyond superficial gestures. Now, this includes implementing comprehensive anti-discrimination policies, conducting regular diversity training, and actively recruiting and promoting individuals from underrepresented groups. Similarly, beauty stores must recognize the importance of creating inclusive and welcoming environments for all customers. Now, this involves addressing unconscious biases among staff, fostering cultural sensitivity, and providing equitable treatment to every shopper regardless of race. Now, I want us to talk about tokenism. Tokenism is a prevalent issue in today's workplace where a small number of individuals from underrepresented groups are included merely to give the illusion of diversity. Now, despite seeming progressive, tokenism does not tackle core inequalities and hinders sincere diversity and inclusion efforts. Understanding how it affects marginalized individuals in the overall work environment is important to move beyond superficial representation and create a truly equitable space where all employees can thrive. Now, what is tokenism? Tokenism refers to the practice of including a few individuals from underrepresented groups to create a superficial appearance of diversity, where actually failing to address systemic inequalities. Now, a term coined in the 1960s by sociologist Rosabeth Moss-Kanter, tokenism emerged as a response to affirmative action policies, with organizations using token representatives as mere symbols of diversity without dealing with underlying issues. These token representatives often face increased scrutiny and pressure to represent their entire community, experiencing isolation and limited opportunities for growth. In social structures, tokenism can perpetuate stereotypes and reinforce biases, hindering genuine progress towards inclusivity. Now, token individuals may be showcased as exemptions, obscuring the broader challenges faced by their communities. The distinction between genuine diversity and token representation lies in the depth of inclusion. Genuine diversity embraces diverse perspectives and experiences, enabling equal access to opportunity and decision-making roles. Now, on the contrary, token representation relies on symbolic gestures, often disregarding the valuable contributions and unique voices of underrepresented individuals. Now, in the workplace, a company might hire a single person of color or a black person to a prominent position while the rest of the leadership team remains homogeneous. Now, this practice gives the illusion of inclusivity without truly empowering marginalized voices. Similarly, tokenism is observable in educational settings where schools may enroll a limited number of students from disadvantaged backgrounds to showcase diversity. Now, however, if the institution fails to create a genuinely inclusive environment and address systemic barriers, these students may feel isolated and unsupported. Tokenism in the workplace can take many forms, such as symbolic representations, diversity quotas, limited career growth opportunities, lack of inclusivity, token participation, and unvoiced concerns faced by tokenized individuals. Now, one common scenario in professional settings is token hires, where a company has individuals from underrepresented groups solely to demonstrate diversity without genuinely valuing their contributions. Now, token hires often face added pressure to represent their entire community, making it difficult for them to be seen as individuals with unique skills and qualifications. Token participation in decision-making is another prevalent aspect of tokenism. In such cases, organizations might include a single representative from a minority group in discussions or committees to give an illusion of inclusion, but their perspectives may not be genuinely valued or considered in meaningful ways. Diversity committees can also become tokenized, with one or a few members representing different backgrounds, but the committee's actual impact may be limited if their suggestions and concerns are not taken seriously. Now, the impact of tokenism on workplace dynamics and employee morale is significant. Tokenized individuals often experience isolation, feeling like they're not fully part of the team. This can lead to a lack of trust, low job satisfaction, and reduced motivation. Moreover, tokenism can perpetuate stereotypes and microaggressions, fostering a hostile hostile work environment for those affected. Tokenism in the workplace undermines the genuine efforts to create a diverse and inclusive workforce. It can have detrimental effects on the morale and mental well-being of tokenized employees and perpetuate systemic inequalities within the organization. Now, getting back to what was shared in the videos, the experiences shared in the video highlight the existence of structural racism within corporate environments. Despite efforts to promote diversity and inclusion, many companies still struggle with deeply ingrained biases that result in unequal treatment of employees based on race. Now, this can manifest in hiring practices, promotional opportunities, pay disparities, and even termination decisions. The case of the Black woman who faced backlash for her successful marketing efforts underscores how Black individuals are often perceived as threats in predominantly non-Black spaces. This perception stems from stereotypes and prejudices that portray Black people as inherently competitive or disruptive. Now, as a result, Black employees may face heightened scrutiny and hostility when they excel in their roles, particularly if they challenge existing power dynamics. The concept of tokenism refers to the superficial inclusion of individuals from underrepresented groups without addressing underlying systemic issues. In contrast, genuine inclusion involves creating environments where diversity is valued and all employees are treated equitably and given opportunities for advancement based on merit. Now, companies must move beyond token gestures of diversity and actively work to dismantle barriers to inclusion. The experiences of Black customers in beauty stores highlight the pervasive racial bias that exists in retail environments. Black individuals are often subjected to surveillance, profiling, and disrespectful treatment based on stereotypes about purchasing intentions or behavior. Now, this not only creates a hostile shopping experience, but also perpetuates harmful narratives about the criminality of Black people. Addressing racism in the workplace and retail spaces requires systemic change and accountability at every level. Companies must take proactive measures to address bias in hiring, promotion, and employee treatment, while also fostering a culture of respect and inclusion. Consumers play a crucial role in holding companies accountable for their actions and supporting businesses that prioritize diversity and equity. We have finally come to the end of the video. What do you have to say? Share your thoughts as well in the comment section. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video.